Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we're taking a look at this knife. This is the Bestech Lion. Before we go any further in this review, I want to say this knife is discontinued, as far as I can tell, but you still can get it at several retailers and even at discount. So that's pretty good. That's why I decided to give this guy a review. Alright, with that out of the way, let's start off with our size comparisons. So, first of all, let's take a blade length measurement. We're looking at pretty much 3.5 inches on the dot. So, definitely a full-size EDC knife, definitely in that range of knives that I prefer to carry. So, let's start off with our size comparisons. Here is our Ontario Rat Model 2 and the Model 1. So, yeah, it's definitely a full-size knife, but it's not a massive knife. It's going to be cool for a lot of people. Next, let's bring out our Civivis. Where are they? Here they are. There's our Elementum. And our Praxis. So again, a good size knife. Not too small, not too big. Pretty much perfect size for EDC, in my opinion. And let's bring out our flagship comparisons. Benchmade Bug Out. Spyderco PM2. Alright, a lot of blue on the table. Which, we'll talk about this knife being blue here in just a little bit. We gotta compare it against our paraframes, because, you know, everyone needs to see this comparison. There we go. And let's close up by comparing it against two other budgety Bestechs. Let's bring out the Swordfish, which is an awesome knife, and a big one, and the Paladin. So yeah, also not a small knife. So, materials. We are looking at a D2 blade. Nice drop point, G10 handles, steel liner lock, steel back spacer, or steel clip and a steel back spacer, running on bearings. And this color blue that you see here on this G10, you cannot buy this. I actually dyed this knife this color. It was originally a tan G10. You can get this in tan G10, green G10, and black G10, I believe. So yeah, if you want to see what this knife looked like before I dyed it, probably should have filmed a review before I dyed it, but you can go check out my unboxing for this. Alright, let's go ahead and go cut up some cardboard and talk about what I'm liking and not liking about this knife. By the way, perfectly centered, although I have disassembled and reassembled it, but it was good out of the box. Alright, let's go do that. Alright, so let's talk about the cutting performance on the Bestech Lion. So we're looking at a D2 blade with a flat grind. We have a swedge along the top here. The blade stock is not very thick. You know, it's not super thin, but it's not very thick. And the grind does come down to a reasonable edge, about 15 thousandths, which is really nice. So, to help me out today, we have this box. This had a little workbench. So, let's go ahead and get into this. Watch out for the big staples. That would not be good. Take this little flap off. All right, so yeah, slices really, really well. No complaints there. Of course, you don't have any thumb studs or anything to get in the way, so that is nice to see. Satin finish, so you're going to pick up some marks. Although the blade actually has a dual finish. You have stonewash here on the flats and satins on the grinds. Both the grind to the edge end up back here on the swedge. So really cool. How are the ergos? Very good. This is, oh my gosh. This knife is so comfortable. The grip is pretty neutral, and you know, you don't have a forward finger choil or anything, but you don't need it. This is so comfortable. It's nice and fat, which really fills your hand, and the G10 is very slightly contoured, very slightly, but it's enough to just feel really, really good. When you're cutting, it's easy to grab it in a bunch of different ways. I feel like I could break down cardboard, whoops, for ages with this knife before my hand starts to fatigue. So as you can see, it makes short work even of this thick cardboard. This is double cardboard, so yeah. How does it carry? Oh, we'll talk about the action here in a sec. Yeah, it carries not deep, but not too shallow. The clip isn't anything special, but it works just fine. Yeah, I think Bestech makes good clips. Not reversible, which is the one thing I think is bad, but you know, it works fine. A lot of people might not like this little pokey thing up here. I don't mind it too much. How's the action? This honestly has one of the best actions out of any budget knife I have ever experienced. And we'll talk about more at the table, but oh, it's so good. All right, enough playing around. Let's get back to the table. All right, so Bestech Lion. What do I like? What do I not like? Well, as a lot of you probably know, I'm a big Bestech fan, and this knife kind of is another example of why I like Bestech knives, especially on the budget end. So right off the bat, I think this is a good-looking knife, and that is important, you know? An attractive design is nice to see, and this does have an attractive design. Next thing, I like the blade. This blade performs well, again, looks good, and, you know, nice thin behind the edge, gave you a good plunge grind here, and yeah. Something about the blade, I like this swedge on top. The jimping here is very nice. We'll get more into that when we talk about ergos. But the finish on the blade here, you have this stonewash right here and, you know, down on the flipper tab and stuff. A very light stonewash. And then you have satin here on the flats, here on the grinds, my bad, on the swedge and here. So, you know, gives it a nice little, you know, nice little bit of character. And talk about character, let's just talk about details. I like the details on this knife. Let's talk about the handles here. Instead of just flat G10, you know, look at this nice little milling they did here. I like that. I mean, it's not something they had to do. It doesn't really add much to the functionality of the knife. I mean, I guess, well, no, not even with the, it doesn't like give you any meaningful traction in the hand. But, you know, it's just kind of nice that it's there. It's a nice little attention to detail, kind of breaks up the lines of the knife a little bit. It's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. And, you know, I think this G10 is really nice too. Look at the, you know, you can really see the pattern, the texture of the G10. It's pretty smooth, actually. In fact, this is very smooth, but I do like it. You know, especially in a world where we have a lot of G10 that looks like this, just flat. And yes, this has chamfers around the edges, but I don't know, this just looks way, way better to me. So yeah, I like that. Nice little bit of detail. Next thing I like is, well, let's talk about the carry. This knife carries perfectly fine. This clip is not special. Maybe a better looking clip would be appreciated here, but something about the pocket clip is you don't feel it in your hand at all. The knife folds up very nicely. The flipper tab isn't super, obtrusive, so yeah, that's pretty good. Next thing, the access to the liner is really good. You see there, you've got plenty of room to get in there to the lock, and actually disengaging this knife is very satisfying. There is nothing, there's no jimping on this lock bar like you might have on, here's the Paladin, and you see it's jimped. But I don't know, it's very satisfying to get in there, and then it just slides over so nicely. It's one of those things that I'm never going to put into words. It's, it has to be experienced. So yeah, that's nice. That's really, really nice. Let's talk about the ergos. Yes, this knife is so comfortable. Oh my gosh. They don't give you, it's not like a Spyderco. Here's the PM2 that has, lots of swoopy lines, and you have the, choil to choke up into, and, everything. But it doesn't really need it either. You have this nice little choil here, and this is just where you hold it. The jimping is very nice. It's functional and not too sharp. Just, you hold the knife like this, and you're ready to work. You're ready to go to town. It's so comfortable. Like I said, the G10 is kind of smooth, but I don't know. I feel like I'm locked in on this knife enough that I don't need it to be like super, super grippy. So I like that a lot. It's very nice. Very, very nice. Next thing, let's talk about the action. Oh my gosh, the action. It just rockets out of there. And then, oh my gosh, it's so smooth on the close. And yes, I've disassembled this guy and messed with him and stuff, but he was doing, this action was this good right out of the box. It's, oh man, it's so nice. So, so nice. And yeah, there's no blade play, lock rock, nothing. Solid. So, and as you can see, perfectly centered. Yeah, really, really nice. Man. So yeah, that's in short, everything I really like about this knife is that it feels like a very capable tool. Good ergos, a blade that performs nicely, good action, just, and it looks good too. This knife just looks really, really cool. And yeah, that's what I like. So what do I not like so much? First thing, the clip is not reversible. Bestech is bad at that. I think Bestech makes good clips. This clip isn't special, but, it works good. It's got good retention, and it doesn't bug your hand too much. It's a good clip, but not reversible. I kind of wish Bestech would do more reversible clips. They don't give the lefties the love they deserve. So, yeah. This thing here, I know could be an issue for a lot of people. I don't personally mind it. It's not super sharp. It is rounded over, and I do think it actually looks kind of cool. And I like back spacers, and having a steel back spacer is nice. But yeah, T6 hardware. Disassembly on these guys isn't hard. Just take them apart from the clip side. That's what I've discovered with most Bestechs on the budget line, on the budget side at least. Always take them apart from the clip side. Don't mess with, you can't because they have this thing here, but just don't even try and mess with anything here. Just take it apart from the clip side and you'll be fine. They don't like to spin on this side, or they do like to spin on this side. And the number one bad thing about this knife is that it's discontinued. This knife should never have been discontinued. Why did Bestech discontinue this? This is such a good knife. This is a great knife, especially on the budget side of things. And, to me, this was almost like Bestech's Elementum. And they discontinued it. And I don't know why. But, go and snap these up right now. I guess I can talk about the price a little bit. You know, it doesn't really matter now that these are discontinued, but these went for $52. Great price for what you're getting. Absolutely worth it. Now they're discontinued. I got this one for $47, I think. Even better. If you don't have a Lion and you want one, go and get one now while they're all on sale at different places. And if you do have one, get some more. I mean, it can't hurt. I do wish there was more color options available, but like I said, as you can see here too, you know, get the tan version. You can dye it whatever color you want. So that's pretty nice. And I guess that brings me to my final conclusions. And my final conclusions are that this is a great knife that should never have been discontinued. I don't know why they discontinued this, but in my opinion, it was a dumb idea. This knife has just an amazingly beautiful action. Great ergos, a great blade. It is the absolute epitome of an EDC knife. It's absolutely fantastic. I love this knife a whole lot. Cannot recommend it enough. Definitely one of my favorite budget knives ever. And that's all I've got today, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I've been Gideon Stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.